More than 100 dangerous GITMO detainees could soon be coming to the United States of America. The Pentagon is apparently set to release a plan later this week to shut down GITMO permanently and possibly relocate inmates to different prisons around the country. Is this a good or a bad idea? Here to discuss is Major Montgomery Granger, a former ranking Army Medical Department officer at GITMO and the author of the book, Saving Grace at GITMO, a memoir of a citizen warrior. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Major, we know that the president, for years since he took office, has made this a promise to close GITMO. Why is closing GITMO a bad idea?
It's a bad idea because if you bring these detainees to the United States, their friends, family, and our foes will follow them. And they'll go to the nearest town to the prison, and they could take over the local government, install Sharia. And even if they don't do that, they could cause a lot of problems. GITMO is isolated and currently the best, safest place for the unlawful combatant Islamists who want to kill us.
So, and we don't know the details yet, but this administration has been very active in taking people who were at GITMO and releasing them back to their home nations, and invariably, and we got some pictures of some guys who returned to the battle, and that's one of the things, because they are terrorists, and when you go back home, you can go back into the family business,
sure,
or the business they were in.
Human nature is very hard to change, and when we took these guys in, starting in 2002 when I was there, they were the worst of the worst. Very few exceptions that were repatriated. I helped repatriate one of the ones who was that exception. He was a heroin addict and schizophrenic who was no longer of any intelligence value, nor was he a threat. But all those guys are gone now. Anybody left at GITMO is a serious bad guy.
Mm-hmm. So why do you think, so they're talking about putting them in states like Kansas, my home state, probably Leavenworth, Supermax out in Colorado. One of the other places is South Carolina. Should the people in those states be worried about these guys coming to their state?
They should be afraid, and very afraid, because as I said before, their friends, family, and our foes will immigrate, migrate, claim refugee status, try to get student visas, tourist visas, any way they can to get to those nearest towns to those places and cause problems.
Okay, and we were talking about this a moment ago. We've got some images of some of the guys who did return to battle. We'll go ahead and look at them one full screen at a time. Here's Ibrahim bin Shakaran, and these are the names. Transferred to Morocco, became fighters with Al-Islam, an Islamic group, and this just goes over and over. So, you know, the past is prologue. You're just worried that that's
Indeed. We could sit here and go all over 100 of them. There's a website, Human Rights First, that claims there have been over 500 terrorist convictions in the United States, but less than 300 in U.S. prisons. Where are they?
Yeah.
It's not so much about how many have gone back, although it's around 30% of released GITMO detainees are known or suspected. My concern is the other 70%. Where are they?
Exactly. My concern is this. The Pentagon apparently is okay with this. Why would they be okay with closing GITMO?
Well, the Pentagon is run by civilians. And that's the main reason. Of the 55 advisors and SARs that Obama has on his staff, there are no Army or United States Marine Corps officers with any combat experience. He's being advised by novices.
Are they politicians?
Absolutely, and politicians owe favors.
All right, let's see what they do. The plan could come later this week. Major, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks, Steve.
All right. All right, coming up on this Monday, Driven to Danger.
Issue for 1 second.